My wife slapped me across the face on Christmas and accused me of giving her STD in front of my entire family. They all believed her, until I proved she was cheating with her coworker and made every single one of them pay for it. Sup Reddit. Never thought I'd be the guy who got slapped across the face on Christmas and accused of giving his wife an STD in front of his entire family. But here we are. I need to get this off my chest, so grab something to eat, because this one goes from Merry Christmas to Who the Heck Did I Marry real fast. I, 37 male, and my wife Taryn, 36 female, had what everyone called a solid marriage. Met in college, dated for 3 years, got married at 25. We bought a house in Chandler, talked about kids someday, took vacations to San Diego every summer. Nothing flashy, nothing dramatic, just two people building a life together. My family loved her. Her family loved me. Friends always said we were the stable couple they aspired to be. For 12 years, I never questioned it. Never had a reason to. She was my person, I was hers. And that was that. We'd been having a weird few months. Nothing I could pin down exactly, just that gut feeling when something's off. Taryn worked pharmaceutical sales, always had late meetings and conference calls. Normal enough. But lately, she'd been showering the second she got home, keeping her phone face down everywhere, getting weirdly defensive when I asked basic questions about her day. I chalked it up to work stress. Holiday season means quotas and bonuses and all that corporate nonsense. Life was full. Maybe we were just going through one of those married people phases where you coexist more than connect. Christmas Eve at my parents' place in Gilbert. Whole family there. My brother Drew and his wife, my sister Tessa with her 3 kids, aunts and uncles, the works. My mom goes all out with decorations and food, turning their house into something between a Hallmark movie and a fire hazard. I was nursing a soda and trying to avoid my uncle's political rants, and Taryn was on her phone in the corner. Again. She'd been glued to that thing all evening. Texting someone, getting increasingly agitated based on her body language. Around 8 p.m., she set her phone down and just sat there staring at nothing. Not crying yet, just staring with this expression I couldn't read. My sister Tessa noticed first. She'd always liked Taryn, thought she was the stable, sensible one, and even liked her more than me. Tessa sat down next to Taryn and put her arm around her shoulders. "You okay, hun?" Tessa's voice was soft, concerned. Taryn shook her head, didn't say anything, just shook her head and her eyes started getting wet. I was across the room talking to my brother Drew about work when I noticed the body language shift. Tessa was holding Taryn while Taryn silently cried into her hands. My mom noticed too, started walking over with that worried mom expression that drove my dad crazy, always jumping to emotional conclusions instead of waiting for facts. Then Taryn looked up, looked straight at me across the room, and something in her face made my stomach drop. She stood up slowly. Tessa stood with her, still holding her arm. My mom was asking what was wrong. The conversations around the room started dying down as people noticed something was happening. Taryn took a breath, then another. Her hands were shaking. She wiped her eyes and looked around at everyone starting to pay attention. I need to say something. Her voice was quiet, but everyone heard it. The room went fully silent. I've been trying to figure out how to say this for a week. I didn't want to ruin Christmas. I didn't want to do this in front of everyone, but I can't keep quiet anymore. My brain was trying to figure out what the heck was happening. Taryn, maybe we should talk privately, I started. No, she cut me off, voice stronger now. I've been talking to you privately for months, giving you chances, making excuses, convincing myself I was imagining things. She looked at me and there were real tears streaming down her face. I've kept my mouth shut about the late nights, the business trips where you'd come back smelling like perfume, the way you'd shower the second you got home like you were washing something off. What the heck was she talking about? I told myself it was work stress, that you were just tired, that I was being paranoid and insecure. She laughed, bitter and broken. I even went to the doctor thinking maybe I was going through something hormonal. Maybe I was depressed, and that's why I felt so disconnected from you. My mom's hand went to her mouth. Tessa was staring at me with this look of dawning horror. I could see my dad in the background, his jaw tight, watching but not reacting yet. That's how he always was, waiting for the full story while my mom jumped straight into emotional chaos. But it wasn't hormonal, Taryn continued. The doctor ran tests, standard tests when you're having certain symptoms. And the results came back Thursday. She pulled her phone out of her purse, hands shaking so bad she almost dropped it, pulled up something on the screen, held it up but didn't show it yet. Herpes. I have herpes. She said it loud enough that everyone heard. And I've been with exactly one person in 15 years. My husband, the man I trusted. The room exploded into shocked gasps and murmurs. My mom actually stumbled backward. My dad stood up from his chair, face unreadable. Taryn, I don't know what you think, I started. What I think? Her voice was rising now, getting louder. What I think is that you've been cheating on me. What I think is that you brought home an STD and gave it to me. What I think is that I've been the faithful, devoted wife while you were out doing God knows what with God knows who. I haven't cheated on you. My own voice was louder now. Liar! She was full on yelling now. You're a liar. All those work trips to Tucson, all those late nights at job sites, all those weekends you had to work and I stayed home alone. You weren't working, were you? You were with her. Or them. However many women you've been sleeping with behind my back. Tessa had moved fully to Taryn's side, glaring at me. My mom was crying, doing that thing she always did, making it about her emotions instead of waiting for facts. My dad stood there watching, not saying anything yet, but I could see him processing, calculating. I kept quiet because I didn't want to believe it, Taryn continued, voice breaking. I kept making excuses for you because I loved you, because I thought we had something real. I've been home every single night managing our household, being the perfect wife, and this is what I get? A disease I'll have for the rest of my life? Taryn, listen to me. I tried to cut in. No, I'm done listening to you. I'm done making excuses. She was sobbing now, but still talking, still performing for the audience. I've been protecting you, protecting your reputation, not telling anyone what I suspected, because I didn't want people to think badly of you. But I can't do it anymore. I can't keep this inside when you're standing there lying to my face. My sister Tessa stepped forward. Oh my God, Taryn, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. She shot me a look of pure hatred. How could you do this to her? Tessa, I didn't. Don't! Tessa pointed at me. Don't you dare try to talk your way out of this. She has medical proof. She has test results. What do you have? More lies? My mom came over to Taryn, put her hand on her arm. Sweetie, I'm so sorry. I don't know what to say. She looked at me with tears running down her face. Already convicted me in her mind. Typical. How could you? I raised you better than this. Mom, I didn't cheat. I was almost shouting now. I don't know what's going on, but I did not cheat on her. Then how did she get it? My mom's voice cracked, fully emotional now, no logic. You're her husband. If you didn't give it to her, then who did? I don't know, but it wasn't me. My dad finally spoke up. His voice was calm, measured, cutting through the hysteria. Everyone needs to take a breath. This is a serious accusation, and we need facts, not emotions. Thank God for him. Facts? Tessa wheeled on him. She just told you the facts. She has test results. She has test results that say she's sick, my dad said carefully. That doesn't necessarily prove how she got sick. Taryn's eyes went wide. Are you saying I'm lying? Are you seriously going to defend him right now? I'm saying we need to understand the full situation before we destroy people's lives with accusations. Destroy his life? Taryn's voice went shrill. What about my life? I'm the one who's been humiliated. I'm the victim here. Then Taryn walked toward me. Everyone tensed. She stood right in front of me, face wet with tears, body shaking. How could you? She whispered. Just for me. Then louder, for everyone. How could you do this to us? And she slapped me across the face. Hard enough to make the sound, to make the point, to sell the performance. The room stayed frozen. Nobody moved. Tessa jumped in immediately. You can't stay here with him. Come stay at my place. You shouldn't be anywhere near this monster. My mom nodded, still crying. Yes, go with Tessa. You need to be somewhere safe. I need to go. I need to leave. Taryn grabbed her purse. Tessa put her arm around Taryn's shoulders. Come on, sweetie. Let's get you out of here. They walked out together. I could hear them in the driveway. Tessa's voice comforting, calling me every name in the book while my mom stood there nodding along like I was the worst person alive. The room stayed silent after they left. Everyone staring at me. My dad was the only one who didn't look convinced. He pulled me aside. You need to get tested, tomorrow. Get proof one way or the other. I will. Good. Because right now everyone thinks you're guilty. You need facts to fight this. I drove home alone that night, mind spinning. The house felt empty without Taryn there. But honestly, I was relieved. Needed space to think. Something about the whole scene felt off. Too rehearsed. Too perfectly timed. Like she'd been planning it. But I also had this nagging thought in the back of my head. I'd had gallbladder surgery 6 months ago. Routine procedure, but they'd used IV needles, blood draws, the works. Could contaminated equipment cause something like this? It seemed far-fetched, but hospitals messed up sometimes. If Taryn wasn't cheating, then maybe it was a medical mistake. Maybe neither of us had done anything wrong, and this was just terrible luck. That thought kept me from going completely nuclear. Yet, first thing the next morning, I hit an urgent care clinic in Scottsdale. Told the nurse I needed a full STD panel. She asked if I had symptoms. I said no, just needed peace of mind. She gave me that knowing look, the one that says she's seen this exact scenario 100 times before. Blood draw, urine sample, swab test. The works. Results in 3 to 5 business days, she said. 3 to 5 days. Might as well have been 3 years. But I had to wait. When I got home, Taryn had already texted. 5 messages. We need to talk about finances. I need access your account for medical expenses. You owe me at least that much after what you did. Are you seriously going to ignore me? I need money. I stared at those messages. She was already positioning herself as the victim who deserved compensation. Already trying to extract cash before I could get my test results back. I texted back, shut up. Wait for my test results. Then we'll talk. She didn't respond for an hour. Then, so you're just going to leave me hanging? Leave me to deal with this alone? You're the one who left. You're staying at Tessa's. Deal with it. My phone rang. Taryn. I let it go to voicemail. She called again and again. That's when things got interesting. Day 2 of waiting for results, my phone rang from an unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Hello? Is this married to Taryn? A woman's voice. Shaky, like she'd been crying. Who is this? My name is Jennifer. My husband is Adrian. He works with your wife. My stomach dropped. Okay. I just got test results back. I have herpes. And I know for a fact my husband gave it to me because he's been cheating on me with your wife for the last 6 months. Everything went cold. What? I found texts between them. Hotel receipts, photos, everything. They've been having an affair. And now we both have herpes because of them. I sat down hard on my couch. How long have you known? I suspected for months, but I just confirmed it yesterday. Found his burner phone hidden in the garage. Every message between them was there. Every lie. Every time he said he was working late or traveling for conferences, he was with her. Jesus Christ. I'm calling because you deserve to know. Your wife gave you an STD from my husband. She's a liar and a cheater. And I'm taking Adrian for everything he has. Taryn accused me of cheating, I said slowly. On Christmas Eve, in front of my entire family. Slapped me and said I gave her the disease. Jennifer made a disgusted sound. Of course she did. That's what cheaters do. Flip the script before you can figure out the truth. I just got tested yesterday. Waiting on results. I hope for your sake you're negative. Because if you're not, she gave it to you, and then tried to destroy your reputation to cover her own behind. We talked for another 20 minutes. Jennifer sent me screenshots of everything she'd found. Texts between Adrian and Taryn. Hotel bookings. Deleted photos from Adrian's phone. Evidence of a 6-month affair that Taryn had hidden while playing the perfect wife. I saved every single screenshot. By the time I hung up, I wasn't worried about contaminated surgical needles anymore. I was just furious. Taryn had been cheating, caught herpes from her affair partner, and instead of owning it, she'd publicly humiliated me on Christmas Eve to control the narrative. Now I was sitting here waiting for test results, but the truth was already clear as day. Day 3 of waiting for results, Taryn showed up at the house. I watched her pull into the driveway through the window, considered not answering the door, but screw it, might as well get this over with. She walked in looking righteous and angry. We need to talk about money. I have medical bills piling up and you're just ignoring me like I don't exist. This is your responsibility too. The medication costs are insane and you're acting like none of this matters. Sit down, Taryn. Don't tell me what to do. I'm not sitting down until you transfer money into my account. The hospital is calling me every day, and it's your fault I'm dealing with this alone. You're the one who... I said sit down. My voice cut through her entitlement like a knife. The room went dead silent. Something in my tone, cold, controlled, final, made her actually stop mid-sentence. Her mouth hung open for a second. Then she slowly lowered herself onto the couch, suddenly looking less sure of herself. I pulled out my phone, opened the folder with Jennifer's screenshots. Let the silence hang there for a beat. I know about Adrian. Her face went white. What? Adrian. Regional manager at your company. Your affair partner for the last 6 months. The guy who actually gave you herpes. Ring any bells? I don't know what you're talking about. His wife called me. Sent me everything. Texts. Hotel receipts. Photos. I know you've been sleeping with him. I know he gave you the disease. I know you blamed me on Christmas Eve to cover your own behind. Taryn's mouth opened and closed. No words came out. So here's how this is going to go, I continued. My voice calm as heck. Too calm. I'm still waiting on my test results. But I already know the truth. You cheated. You caught an STD from your affair partner. Then you tried to destroy my reputation to save yours. Her face went pale. You can't what? Sue you? Embarrass you? Send those screenshots to your mom? Your work? Your entire family? Try me. I leaned forward. Whether my results come back positive or negative, I'm going to mess your life up so completely you'll wish you'd never met me. She started crying. Real tears this time, not the performance garbage from Christmas Eve. It was a mistake. It just happened. I didn't mean for any of this. It just happened. Right. You just accidentally ended up with him. Multiple times. For months. What a crazy coincidence. Please, we can work through this. Get out! No, listen to me. Get out! This is my house too. Her voice cracked, going shrill. Desperate. You can't just throw me out like I'm nothing. I stood up. Didn't say a word. Walked straight to the bedroom and started ripping her clothes out of the closet. Hangers clattering to the floor. I grabbed garbage bags from under the sink and started stuffing everything in. Dresses, shoes, her stupid decorative pillows, all of it. She followed me, screaming now. You can't do this. You can't just kick me out. I'm not kicking you out. I tied off a bag and grabbed another. I'm removing trash from my property. There's a difference. Stop it. Stop. She tried to grab a bag from my hands. I yanked it back and she stumbled. Touched my stuff again and I'm calling the cops for assault. Go ahead. Try me. Her face twisted with rage. You're insane. You're a psycho. Yeah? And you're a cheater who tried to blame me for your own mistakes. So I guess we're even. I shoved past her, carried 3 bags to the front door, and threw them onto the porch. They landed with a satisfying thud. Went back for more. She was standing in the bedroom doorway, shaking, mascara running down her face like something out of a horror movie. You're really doing this, she whispered. You're really just now figuring that out? I grabbed her makeup bag off the bathroom counter. Jesus, no wonder Adrian went raw. Critical thinking clearly isn't your thing. Screw you. Already did. Biggest mistake of my life. I threw the makeup bag onto the pile. Anything else you want? You can send your lawyer. Oh wait, you don't have money for a lawyer, do you? Guess you'll have to ask Adrian. She stood in the doorway, trembling with fury and tears. I hope you have it too, she spat, her voice venomous. I hope you get the test results back and you're positive. So you know how it feels. So you understand what I'm going through. I stared at her, let the words hang there, then smiled. Cold, empty. There it is. The real you. Took long enough. I grabbed the last bag, walked to the door, and held it open. Out. I hate you. Good. That makes 2 of us. She walked out, shoulders heaving with sobs. I closed the door behind her. Didn't slam it, just closed it, locked it, deadbolt, chain. She banged on it, hard, over and over. Open the door! Open it! I walked to the kitchen, grabbed a soda, cracked it open, took a long drink. The banging continued. 5 minutes, 10. Her fists pounding, her voice hoarse and broken. Please, we can fix this, please. Then silence. I heard her car start, listened to it peel out of the driveway, tires screeching. Next day, I met with my lawyer. Best decision I ever made was getting a prenup before marrying Taryn. She'd fought it at the time, said it meant I didn't trust her, didn't believe in our love, was planning for failure instead of success. I told her it was just smart business, protecting what each of us brought into the marriage. She'd eventually signed it, probably figuring she'd convince me to tear it up after a few years of wedded bliss. That prenup was about to save my behind. I showed my lawyer everything. Jennifer's screenshots, phone records I'd pulled from our carrier, witness statements from family members who'd seen the Christmas Eve accusation. Told her about the affair, the STD, the public humiliation. My lawyer smiled. This is slam dunk. Adultery, defamation, fraudulent accusations. And the prenup means she walks away with basically nothing except what she brought in. She brought in nothing. Exactly. I'm still waiting on my test results, I said. Should be back in a day or two. Doesn't matter for the divorce. The affair alone is enough. But if you test positive, you can add a civil suit for damages on top of it. We filed divorce papers that afternoon. Kept it simple. Irreconcilable differences, adultery, division of assets per prenuptial agreement. I kept the house, the cars, the savings. Taryn got her personal belongings and her own retirement account, which had about $8,000 in it. Had her served at Tessa's house. According to Tessa's later texts, calling me every name in the book, Taryn had a complete breakdown when she read the terms. Too bad. The test results came back 3 days later, 5 days after Christmas Eve, with urgent care closed for the holiday and everything running slow. Negative. Every single test. Clean across the board. I sat in the clinic parking lot staring at the paperwork, feeling relief crash over me in waves. I didn't have it. She hadn't infected me. Whatever she'd been doing with Adrian, at least she hadn't passed it along before I found out. I took a photo of the results, sent it to Jennifer. She texted back immediately, "Congratulations. Now destroy her." Then I sent the results to my lawyer. She responded within minutes. "Perfect. This strengthens everything. She tried to destroy you while she was the guilty party. Judge is going to hate her." Taryn got her own lawyer fast, some guy who specialized in women's rights, which apparently meant fighting prenups and bleeding husbands dry. He immediately filed a counter motion demanding the prenup was signed under duress, that she deserved 50-50 asset split, spousal support, medical expense coverage. My lawyer laughed when she saw it. They're reaching. Prenup was signed 2 months before the wedding with independent legal counsel. No judge is throwing that out. And given her adultery and the STD situation, she'll be lucky to keep the retirement account. Discovery was brutal for Taryn. Every text with Adrian came out. Every hotel receipt, every lie she'd told about working late or traveling for conferences. Her lawyer tried to suppress some evidence claiming it was obtained improperly, but since it came from Adrian's wife's legal discovery in her own divorce, it was fair game. The Christmas Eve scene became a centerpiece of my case. My lawyer argued it showed Taryn's pattern of manipulation and willingness to destroy my reputation to save herself. She submitted statements from family members who'd witnessed the accusation and slap. Taryn's lawyer tried to paint me as vindictive and controlling, but you can't argue with documents, test results, phone records, witness statements. The judge wasn't sympathetic to Taryn's position. Meanwhile, I'd exposed everything to my family, sent group texts with all the evidence, phone records showing the affair, screenshots of texts between Taryn and Adrian, my clean test results versus her positive ones. The whole story of how she'd tried to publicly destroy me to cover her own cheating. My mom called crying. "I'm so sorry. I should have believed you. I should have waited for facts." "Yeah, you should have." I wasn't ready to forgive. "You convicted me immediately because Taryn cried. No questions, no benefit of the doubt, just instant judgment. I know. I'm sorry. Please, I need space, Mom." Tessa called next. "You can't seriously blame us for believing her. She seemed so genuine. She was lying and you bought it. Called me a monster. Said I couldn't be trusted. Took her side without even asking for my version. She's a woman who was hurting, and I'm your brother who was innocent. But you didn't care about that, did you? That's not fair. Tell me something, Tessa. When's the last time you actually waited for facts before jumping to conclusions?" She hung up on me. My dad called later that night. "You doing okay?" "As okay as I can be. I'm cutting Mom and Tessa off. At least for now. I can't deal with people who jump to conclusions without facts." "I understand," he said quietly. "For what it's worth, I believed you from the start. I know my son." "Thanks, Dad." He went quiet for a second. I could hear him exhale. "I need to tell you something," he said. It wasn't dramatic, just final. "I've been talking to a lawyer for a while. Christmas Eve just locked it in." My brain stalled. "Locked what in?" "I'm divorcing your mother." I sat down without meaning to. "You're serious?" "Dead serious," he said. "I've spent most of my life watching her treat feelings like facts. If she feels something, then as far as she's concerned, it's automatically true, and anyone who disagrees is the enemy. I could live with it when it was about neighbors, co-workers, random family drama. When she did it to you in front of everyone with zero proof, that was it for me. He didn't sound angry, just done. She apologized, I said, even though I already knew what he was going to say. She apologized for how it made you feel, not for being wrong, he replied. She still thinks she was justified because she was upset and Taryn was crying. That's the problem. In her head, I was emotional is a free pass to accuse anyone of anything. He paused, then added, I've tried to talk to her about this for years. Counseling, conversations, compromises, nothing sticks. I'm 62. I'm not spending whatever time I've got left getting dragged into mob scenes every time she decides her feelings matter more than reality. We talked for another hour. He'd been planning this for a while, apparently. Christmas Eve just confirmed what he already knew. My mom made everything about emotions and refused to let facts interfere with her feelings. Adrian's life imploded first. Jennifer's divorce went scorched earth. She had evidence of the affair, the STD, the lying, the hidden burner phone. She went after full custody of the kids, 13 and 15, old enough to understand their dad had cheated and given their mom an STD. When the judge asked the kids if they wanted to see their father, they both said no. Said they didn't want to be around someone who'd lie to their faces and disrespect their mom like that. Judge granted Jennifer primary custody. Adrian got supervised visitation, only if the kids agreed. They never agreed. Jennifer got the house, got the cars, got child support and spousal support. Adrian ended up in a crappy apartment in Mesa, working middle management for half his previous salary after getting fired from the pharmaceutical company for ethics violations and fraudulent expense reports. Taryn's fall was almost as spectacular. The company investigation found she and Adrian had been billing personal expenses as business costs. Hotel rooms they'd shared, dinners with no clients present, conference travel they'd both attended for no legitimate reason. They offered her resignation with 3 months severance in exchange for not suing them. She took it because fighting would have meant admitting to fraud. She found a new job eventually, medical device sales with a 30% pay cut. Moved into a one-bedroom apartment in Tempe. Struggled to make rent and cover her medical expenses on the reduced income. My divorce finalized in April. Judge enforced the prenup exactly as written. Taryn got her personal belongings, her retirement account, and nothing else. No house, no spousal support, no shared assets. She'd tried everything her lawyer could think of. Claimed the prenup was unfair. Claimed I was wealthy, and she deserved support. Claimed the STD situation was private medical information that shouldn't matter. Judge shut it all down. Your client engaged in a sustained extramarital affair, contracted an STD from her affair partner, then publicly accused your client of cheating to cover her own actions. The prenuptial agreement is valid and will be enforced as written. Taryn sat there crying while the judge read the final orders. I felt nothing. Meanwhile, my mom's divorce from my dad was moving forward. She tried everything to stop it. Begging, guilt trips, acting like his decision was some random midlife meltdown. He didn't budge. In one mediation session I heard about later, he told her, I've spent 40 years managing your emotions. I'm done. When you condemned our son without a single fact, in front of everyone, that told me exactly who you are. I'm not signing up for another 20 years of that. The divorce was straightforward. No kids to fight over. Assets split cleanly. The only real battle was over the house. Mom wanted to stay in it. Dad wanted to sell. Judge sided with Dad. Mom couldn't afford it on her own anyway. She ended up moving in with Tessa. 2 emotional, reactive people living together. I gave it 6 months before they turned on each other. Dad bought a condo in Scottsdale. Modern, minimalist, quiet. He seemed happier than I'd seen him in years. Taryn tried to get sympathy from mutual friends. Posted on Facebook about toxic ex-husbands and victim-blaming culture. Some people bought it, most didn't, especially after I sent a few key people the actual evidence. She lost most of her social circle. The ones who stuck around were the kind who always believed women regardless of facts. They could have her. New Year's Eve, 2 years after the divorce. Dad was over at my place watching the game. Doorbell rang around 8. You expecting someone? Dad asked. Nope. I opened the door, and there she was. Taryn, looking like death warmed over. She'd lost maybe 30 pounds. Hair pulled back in a greasy ponytail. Dark circles under her eyes that makeup couldn't hide anymore. The herpes medication was clearly doing a number on her. Hey, she said, voice shaking. Can I come in? No. Please, just for a minute. I need to talk to you. Dad appeared behind me. Who is it? Taryn's face went pale when she saw him. She knew exactly what Dad thought of her. It's Taryn, I said, not moving from the doorway. She was just leaving. Wait, she said quickly. Please, I'm begging you, just hear me out. Something about the way she said begging made me pause. Not out of sympathy, more like morbid curiosity. How low was she actually willing to go? 5 minutes. On the porch. We stepped outside. Dad leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed, watching her like she was a bug under glass. Taryn started crying immediately. Not the manipulative tears from Christmas Eve 2 years ago. Real ugly crying. Snot and everything. I messed up, she said. I know I messed up. I've lost everything. My career's gone. My apartment's gone. I'm living with my cousin in Tempe in her spare bedroom. I can barely afford my medication. My credit's destroyed. I have nothing. Okay? Okay? That's all you have to say? What do you want me to say, Taryn? You made choices. These are consequences. I was scared. I panicked. I didn't know what else to do. You could have told the truth. Would have saved everyone a lot of trouble. She wiped her face with her sleeve. I know. I know I should have. But I can't change that now. I'm asking you to give me another chance. I actually laughed. Couldn't help it. Another chance at what? At us. At our relationship. We were good together before everything fell apart. We could be good again. No. I've changed. I'm in therapy. I'm working on myself. I understand what I did wrong now. That's great. Genuinely. But it has nothing to do with me. Please. She grabbed my arm. I pulled away. I have nobody. Mom won't talk to me. Tessa won't return my calls. I don't have friends anymore. Everyone knows what I did. I'm completely alone. Not my problem. How can you be so cold? Practice. Dad snorted behind me. Taryn glared at him, then back at me. I loved you. I still love you. We had 12 years together. That has to count for something. It did count for something. Past tense. Then you threw it away when you decided to sleep with Adrian like a teenager. Her face crumpled. I can't take that back. I would if I could, but I can't. All I can do is ask for forgiveness. Ask for another chance. Ask you to help me get back on my feet. There it is. What? The real reason you're here. You need money. I need help. Is that so wrong? We were married. We built a life together. Doesn't that obligate you to... No. It obligates me to nothing. We're divorced. You're on your own. I'm sick. I'm struggling. I'm losing my mind trying to figure out how to survive. And you're just standing there acting like none of it matters. Because to me, it doesn't. You're a stranger who made bad choices and has to live with them. Same as anyone else. She fell apart completely then. Dropped to her knees on my porch, sobbing into her hands. Full breakdown. The kind of crying that makes you look away because it's so pathetic. Please, she choked out between sobs. Please take me back. I'll do anything. I'll sign whatever prenup you want. I'll go to any therapy you want. I'll work 3 jobs. I just can't do this alone anymore. I can't. Taryn, get up. I'm begging you. I said get up. She looked up at me, mascara running down her face in black streaks. So that's it? You're just going to let me suffer? You let yourself suffer when you made the choices that got you here. I'm just declining to fix it for you. I hope you're happy. I am, actually. She stared at me like I'd shot her, then turned and walked to her car. Some beat-up Honda that looked like it barely ran. She sat in the driver's seat for a solid minute before starting it. Probably crying more. I didn't care enough to check. Finally, she drove off. Dad and I went back inside. He grabbed 2 sodas from the fridge and handed me one. Well, he said, popping the tab. That was entertaining. Cold, Dad. You know what's wild about some people? They'll burn their whole life down, then show up at your door like you're the complaint department. He took a long drink. Yes, ma'am. I see you started the fire. And now you'd like to speak to a manager about the smoke damage? I choked on my soda laughing. Can't make this up, he said, shaking his head. Your mom did the same thing. Blew up a 30-year marriage, then acted shocked when I wouldn't fix her problems anymore. What did you tell her? Same thing you should have told Taryn. Your emergency stopped being my problem when you made it your choice. He raised his can. To being off the clock. I clinked mine against his. Amen to that. Taryn made her choices. She cheated. She lied. She tried to destroy me when the truth came out. She lost everything because of it. Now she wanted me to fix what she broke. Hard pass.